With the new Renault Espace being a longer version of the Austral, and the Scenic making a return next year as a fully electric SUV, there is only one minivan nameplate that remains untouched, the Avantime. A candidate for that name could be the pictured coupe SUV prototype that was caught testing in Europe by our spy photographers. For those not familiar with Renault's history, the Avantime was an unconventional two-door minivan grand tourer with frameless doors and the characteristic eyebrow intakes above the headlights. Only 8,557 units were produced between 2001 and 2003, making it a commercial flop. A possible return of the Avantime in the form of a coupe SUV would make sense, as the original model was always destined to be the coupe version of the Espace. The prototype was fully covered in camouflage wrap with extra plastic pieces underneath to keep us from discovering its styling details. However, none of this could hide the coupe SUV stance of the model that appears to be very similar in size to the Renault Austral, albeit with a more aerodynamic shape and a sloping roofline towards the back. Unlike the Espace, which is sharing its face with the Austral, this prototype is different. A closer look reveals the angular headlight extensions that will be introduced soon by the facelift Renault Clio, plus different bumper intakes. The tail is also camouflaged, but we can see a portion of the slim taillights below an integrated spoiler. As for the interior, it is safe to assume that the 5-seater model will inherit Renault's open-air digital cockpit, which is widely used in other models. An IC-powered coupe SUV of this size by Renault would most likely share its CMF-CD underpinnings and powertrain options with the Austral and the Espace. This means it could get the self-charging hybrid system with a turbocharged 1.2-liter engine, an electric motor, a high-voltage starter generator, and a 2 kWh lithium-ion battery. The combined output of this setup is 197 horsepower, 147 kilowatts/200 PS, and 205 Nm, 151.2 lb-ft of torque, sending power to the front wheels through an automatic gearbox. Our sources suggest that the yet unnamed model could debut as early as in the first quarter of 2024, further expanding the SUV lineup of the French automaker. Renault already has a coupe SUV offering in the form of the Captur-based Arkana, so a second and larger one would definitely make sense in terms of sales. It remains to be seen if the company will call it the Avantime or choose another name. Subscribe, like, don't forget the bell.